Hi everyone. Hi Vanya.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So how was the day?
Ma'am, it was great.
It is good? Okay. That's fine. So good evening and greetings from Bose Global Education. We have today with us Manya Agarwal, who would be very soon going to Switzerland Culinary Art Academy to pursue her passion, to fulfill her dream. So instead, then I start introducing you, or I would love to hear from you. So, stage is all yours, the floor is all yours. Please do start.
My name is Manya Agarwal, and culinary has been my passion since as long as I can remember. The world of food has always amused me, like how some very basic things given to us by nature can create such art pieces which people cherish around the world. So that is why I have chosen to go to Switzerland to further my dreams and reach my goals.
Great. Okay, so how was your learning experience on the virtual platform?
The virtual platform has been a boon to us because it has brought people from long distances closer. And there are teachers who are like there are some teachers who might be more efficient who are living in some different city, which we could not have done in offline classes. But online classes has given us that facility to connect all over the people from all over the world and has always made our learning experience much easier as from the comfort of our own houses we can learn and get education in our own environment, and it has been really, really helpful.
Great. So it was a good learning experience for you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you think this learning experience has been compromised in any way?
Yes, in the practical subjects where you are not able to have a hands-on experience in the online classes, it has been a tough for those students. For example, speaking of culinary, most of the culinary courses need a hands-on experience. You need to practice in the kitchen in the practical world. But the online classes have made that a bit difficult, which I assume. However, the theory subjects have been easier, but the practical ones, I don't think so. It has been very easy.
Okay, so wherever the subjects which require some practical experience, like
Yes.
if we talk about the physics or the chemistry, the laboratory work, so I
Mm-hmm.
think you need to go to the lab and do it. So I
Yes.
think those type of experiences, it was hard to accommodate. So,
Yes.
what piqued your interest in the field of culinary?
This is a very like story since when I was very young. I saw my mother cooking in the kitchen always, and I
Mhm.
was just fascinated about how like a brown looking potato which was raw, which you get for like very cheap, and how those hard pieces of rocks could turn into something so creamy, luscious, looking very bright orange. So I always thought, ki, what more can you do with it? Like one simple ingredient, how can you change its form, shapes, and sizes to convert into something beautiful? And then I myself, like the first dish I ever made was from a potato. So that's how I started cooking dishes, and then I just saw how I can add more ingredients or subtract more ingredients to change the taste of something completely. That's what
Mhm.
gave rise to my interest in cooking.
So, do you recall any of your first memory of your love for cooking?
Yes, I do, in fact. My mother was making aloo chaat for me, and I was about 6 or 7 years old that time, and I was really interested ki how is she making it? And everything was peeled and chopped. She was just had to mix everything. So I said, "Can I mix it?" And then she said, "Yes, of course, go ahead." And then I started mixing it, and I was very proud of myself for making it. And then I started making lemonade, aloo chaat, sandwiches. Uh, Fun fact is, the first dish I made was not Maggie, it was a sandwich. Like, and those things I kept making, all the non-fire cooking because I was too young to operate the gas stove. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, that was my first cooking experience, making aloo chaat for everyone.
So, was that the time when you decided to become a chef?
No, I was too young that time to decide what do I have to become when I grow up. I was interested in cooking always, but to be very honest, before my middle school, I didn't really think that I will take it as a career. However, because I did not know कि you have it as a career, but when I grew up and when I came to class 6, I started realizing that there are special schools which train you to become chefs. I used to think that chefs just cook from their home and then they become a chef somehow. I never knew that there are courses designated to it because I was very young. So when I turned 13, I started researching a lot about what this course is, what colleges teach it, are there schools who teach it, where is it the best? And then I came across the Culinary Arts Academy of Switzerland. And it being one of the top most universities in the world, I immediately made it my dream university and I did everything I could to get there.
Okay, so what's your first memory, okay, of your love for cooking? Different from the funniest kitchen incident?
No, it is not, in fact. So I participated in the IIHM Young Chef India cooking competition, and the funniest incident happened then. So it was a
Mhm.
virtual online cooking competition, and my phone was kept on the tripod while I was cooking. I was making the dishes. So while
Mhm.
for lighting the gas, I needed the gas lighter. And generally, if I don't find something in the kitchen, I'll just panic and I ask you, where is it? I had kept it here. But I was on a virtual platform, so I couldn't say anything. So I couldn't find the lighter. I was just standing there looking at the kitchen, and we had a time limit. We had to make it everything in 1 hour. And for 5, 10 minutes, I was standing in the kitchen in one spot, glaring everywhere. Ki where is it? And I had to cook. So the person who was in charge of our room asked me, "Ki Manya, is something wrong?" I said, "Actually, I cannot find the lighter." And I had kept everything ready. So I was just staring everywhere and I just stood there hands folded because I wanted to shout, but I couldn't. And then I was just staring everywhere. And then one of the contestants from the competition is like, "I see something under the gas." And then I'm like, "Okay." And then I found it. That was the
So,
funniest incident.
so next time, whenever you went for such competitions, you were very careful about the lighters and all?
Yes, I had always been careful. Like I kept everything, but somehow when I was moving something, it might have slipped under the gas stove,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
yes.
So that's interesting to know. Okay. So now I don't know whether it is very fair to ask you this question at this moment or not, but I would definitely like to ask you this. What are your strengths as a cook or as a, because you want to become a chef? So what are your strengths? Do you think this is my USP?
My strength, I think, is whenever there's a dish. For me, there is no dish which is bad. Like, no matter how the dish tastes, you can always add something to it or cook it a bit more to make it taste good. Like, that's what I
Hmm.
feel I can do. If something is burnt, that's the hardest to salvage. But if something tastes a bit raw, you can always cook it more. If something has lack of taste, if it's bland, you can always add more things to that. So what I feel my strength is that no matter what type of a dish or ingredient you give me, I will definitely try my level best to make something out of it and put food on your plate which will be tasting really good.
Good. So how did you get to know about this Culinary Art Academy Switzerland?
It's a really funny story, to be very honest. I was on Google in class 6 searching for first I typed cooking courses in the world, and then I got to know it's called culinary. And then I
Hmm.
searched best culinary college in the world, like what a child would do. And I came across a few universities on which the Culinary Arts Academy of Switzerland was on the list. So then I saw the campus and everything, but I was too young to have contacted anyone from the campus, obviously. However, I set my sights on it and then I saw the campus. It was very beautiful and I read about the programs it offers. I didn't understand anything, but then I thought, "Ki, this is what I want to do." And yeah, that's how I discovered this university.
So at a very early age, you started
Yes,
researching about the schools.
yes.
Hmm. So why did you narrow down only Culinary Art Academy, Switzerland, to pursue your, passion or your dream?
I had shortlisted two universities, and
Hmm.
then I went to Mr. Deep. He showed me how Culinary Arts Academy of Switzerland is the best university in the world to pursue this because it
Hmm.
has an extensive program and it is the birthplace of the hospitality industry as well as chocolate and cheese of the best quality in Switzerland, which are two most major ingredients in today's cooking. And
Hmm.
also the calm and peace environment of Switzerland makes it ideal to study over there because there will not be many distractions and you will be able to pursue your dreams and goals in a very efficient manner. And also I chose this university because the population and everything over here is very less and there is more focus upon each student as compared to the other universities because there are more people there. So the lesser the people, the more attention a person will get, which will make the learning way more efficient. And also, the Culinary Arts Academy of Switzerland offers extensive internships, and those internships will give me a direct insight into the practical world. A 4 to 6 month internship after every 4 terms, I'm presuming, which is really, really enriching. Like that will help me boost my confidence. And the third year, which I'll be having at the Brick campus over there, also I'll learn how to stay in a business environment.
Fantastic. So that's cool to know about the college, the school, and this is one of the best schools I know.
Yeah.
So now the next question is very important for you. All right.
Mhm.
So in many professions all over the world, glass ceiling is a reality.
Mhm.
Okay. There's so many professions. For example, we can take the defense, where women were restricted. And if you talk about the culinary world also, we see that the women are always associated with the domestic sphere, or we can say that they are confined to the kitchen. All right. Whereas when we talk about men, we see that they are ruling the professional cooking. They are ruling the professional kitchen. So we have one student you must have heard of, and I feel proud to mention about her. Her name is Vidhi Jalan, and she is being sent by us there. I think 4 years back. Now she is a graduate. She is a professional chef now. She is the one who has become a trendsetter. She has broken the glass ceiling. She has broken the myth and the misconception that professional cooking or kitchen is only reserved for men. So no gender bias. No gender bias now. So, but one thing I would definitely like to mention you why this question is coming up in my mind because of the Jalan only. Because while Deep Sir was counseling her, at the time, the particular question we asked, is non-veg cooking done at in her house? Is it, is it done? Because she's coming from a community where non-veg is considered to be a taboo. And same is with you also, I guess. So there, the glass ceiling. You have to break the glass ceiling. So how you're
Mhm.
going to? Because she told us that she has been dealing with non-vegetarianism right from the beginning, because she knew that her passion is to become a professional chef. And when you want to become a professional chef, you have to deal with everything. You can't be biased. No, I won't do this or I won't do
Yes,
that.
yes.
So how are you going to deal with this? Because you are also belonging to a background, a community where the background is such where non-vegetarianism is considered to be is prohibited. I mean to say. So how are you going to deal with? Because there the kitchen will be all the time non-vegetarian cooking, eating, chopping will be there. So how are you going to deal with this?
The fact that culinary involves non-vegetarian cooking has been known by me since a very long time. So like earlier, I was a bit scared. How will I be coping with that? But now that I know that this is what I want to do in my future, I had gone to a few restaurants and I had gone to the professional kitchen and had tried chopping meat and asked them for some recipes and had tried a hands-on experience of some meats like chicken and fish so that my fear of non-veg goes. And I thought that it'll be very hard, or I might be like, how will I touch this? But it was pretty easy, and I was being able to cope up with that. And I felt that that will be something which will not be a problem because now I've become very comfortable with it. And I, in fact, look forward to learning a new thing which I haven't learned since I was a child. So now, instead of scaring me, it is really exciting to see how more ingredients I can incorporate into my dish to create something very new.
So you're ready for it.
Yes.
Great, great. So now let's come to the parents now, because I know that even Vidya's parents were very supportive to her, even though the non-vegetarianism is not followed at home. So how supportive are your parents in giving you the permission to pursue your dream? So I mean, because they play a very instrumental role.
Well, for starters, non-veg had never been brought to my house since I was born or since this house is there. But recently, a month back, my mom brought chicken to the house so that I can cook it because I had learned it. So, well, that shows how supportive she is because she's breaking her own beliefs, her own practices that have been going on for traditions just so that I achieve my dreams and so that it becomes easier for me. And she has done everything, gone to every length to make sure that I get what I want and I pursue everything I want in the most successful manner. She taught me how to make my first dish. Until date, whenever I cook something, I always keep asking her or keep making her taste because her approval is the approval which means more to me than anyone else in the world. And I know that her judgment is never biased. Like if I make something which is not nice, she will tell it to me. It is not nice. And if I make something which is nice, she will tell that to me too.
Okay. So you need, actually, you need your parents' support the most. So in order to achieve, actualize your dreams. That's great. That's great to know. How did you now, this is a very important question. How did you get through the admission process?
The admission process was, in fact, very easy for me because Deep Sir helped me a lot. I just had to get a few documents in place and he arranged everything and my visa procedure also went very smoothly. He handed over a file to me, made it, put it in an envelope. I just had to be like, sir, I'm going for my visa. He's like, huh, take this envelope, go for the visa. I'll do everything. Everything was made so easy. All my doubts were answered very, very promptly. One doubt, I could message him any time of the day, or I could call anyone, and it would just be sorted. I have no doubts in my mind. I'm very sure of everything. The IELTS exam also I was guided so nicely by you, Joey ma'am, and it really helped me get a really good score. You would make sure that I do all my listening, speaking, every test and practice workbooks. And Deep sir also guided me really well so as to take my French lessons. He made it a point to tell me every day, yeah, you doing your French lessons because it would be really helpful to me to get a good internship and to stay over there, talk to the local people out there because French is the first language of Switzerland, not English at all. So that is why everything went very smoothly. And if I had any doubts regarding the campus or something on the campus, he even made me spoke to some old students of the campus who also gave me a very good insight into what I am in for. So now I feel I'm completely ready, and all thanks to Dibbo sir and you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, okay, so you talked about the entire admission process. It was, the entire hand holding was being done by Sir. So now, what are the other passions or the pursuits that keeps you going apart from being in the kitchen or culinary skills? There must be some other skills also, or some other passions you have as a hobby. What do you do?
I love to write poems, to be very honest. Like, not just poems, I love to write anything, like paragraphs, essays, short stories. So since I was in class 4, I used to write poems and I had a book of 22 poems, which unfortunately got lost. But I still maintain a small journal in which I write my poems. My poems are basically my thoughts. I just like to have my thoughts written in a place and I keep them collected with me. I like to
Mhm.
write.
So, any poetry, do you remember any lines which you have written?
I don't really remember them, but I have them written.
Sure. Okay. So, the next is what are your expectations from the culinary school where you're going?
I feel my expectations from the culinary school is that it will polish me and it will make my skills and my talent come into something very fruitful and nice, which will give me success in the future. It will also make me totally exposed to the world of food and give me every minor detail of knowledge which I require to become a professional chef. The hands-on
Mhm.
internship will also make me trained for the professional kitchen so that after the culinary course, if I go into the professional world, I don't feel scared or like I was not ready for this. What is this? Like I will be ready for everything, and it will
Mhm.
also maybe help me create something new, which is always been my dream to invent a new dish. So I hope I'll be able to do that also, and I will be able to search for jobs after my course. I hope I get a good recommendation from my college too.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? So, you haven't entered the
Five
school,
years
but you will be flying soon.
5 years from now, I see myself working in some restaurant, gaining experience because my goal is to open a food chain of my own. However, being practical, I know within 5 years it's not going to be possible for a bachelor student to open a food chain of her own. So I'll be gaining experience for 5 to 7 years of my life in different parts of the world. And I don't want to work in very big 5-star, 7-star restaurants. I want to work in the local restaurants of the villages of different countries so that I get to know the local cuisine, which hasn't been explored yet. Five-star restaurants, everyone can go to a fine dining restaurant, but the local cuisine has more flavors, the unexplored flavors. I want to create something out of that. So 5 years from now, I see myself in some very nice village of some place trying to explore the local cuisine and grains.
Very unique. Actually, everybody says different things. Whenever we talk about a chef, we're talking to a chef. It's been like they want in go into 5 star hotels or restaurants, Michelin star, like these type of hotels they want. But yours is very unique because you want to go into the suburban area or to some countryside place, you want to explore those places. Good to know about that. Now let us come to some of the very funny questions I'll give you. Okay, right? Okay, let us see how you answer these questions. How do you describe your overall cooking philosophy?
Cooking philosophy as uh, cooking philosophy as in
Cooking philosophy means you must be having, and you can talk about your strengths in that. What is your USP as far as your cooking is concerned? What is your, everybody has got a philosophy.
as far as my cooking skills are there, I have never considered any of my dishes or anything to be perfect. I always feel that there is a room for improvement, and I feel in cooking, less is more. If you add a lot of ingredients to a particular dish, it might flavors might overpower each other, or the true star of the dish might not come out. So my philosophy is less is more, as I said, and simple ingredients but complex cooking methods can bring out a really beautiful dish.
Great, great. Name the three kitchen tools you can't do without.
Okay, I definitely cannot do without a rubber spatula. It is a very handy tool. It helps me whip anything, desserts, batters. It helps me flip pancakes, chillas, uttapams. It also helps me stir gravies, curries. It is a multi-purpose equipment, and it also helps me get things out of the mixer properly if there are some left on the side. Rubber spatula definitely. I also like a non-stick cookware, a non-stick iron cookware because it's easier cooking in a non-stick pan because the gravies will not stick on the bottom and you can leave it for a while on the gas and go and do something else or cook something else. So that is one
Hmm.
more thing I cannot do without. And lastly, this is not a cooking tool, but it is very important in the kitchen, which most people forget, an apron. An apron is really important for you in the kitchen because it will help you, your clothes will not get dirty, and you'll constantly not be leaning towards the slab of cooking. And an apron also shows that you are considering cooking important. You have a separate uniform for it because most of the people they don't consider cooking that important, which needs to be actually changed. So a chef coat or an apron not only shows hygiene, it also shows authority, shows responsibility, and it also shows the dedication you have towards cooking.
So, do you have any challenging ingredient to work with?
Challenging ingredient for now, it will be meat because as excited I am to cook it, I still do not know the taste of it because I have never really tasted non-veg. I'm really excited to make it, but I'm definitely not very excited to eat it myself. I might slowly with the environment and changes. I might taste, but I don't really know the taste of it. The other ingredients, the taste have been embodied in me. I've been eating them since I was a child, so I know how to put my own twist to them. However, non-veg, I wouldn't be able to do that currently, but with time, of course, I'll manage that also.
Perfect, perfect. So, last question from I like these rapid fire questions which I asked, and you answered so beautifully. So happy,
Thank
so
you.
happy for you. Is there any chef you admire the most?
Yes, I admire Chef Vineet Mittal from India. The reason why I admire him is because he went from nothing to being the first Indian chef to earn a Michelin star. When he went to New York, he was bullied for being an Indian. He said that he was told that your hands are black. How do you expect to make something good with those black hands? Because of being dark skin toned, he was bullied a lot and nobody ever took him seriously. But he showed that no matter from where you come or from which country you come or what your upbringing has been, if you have a passion and talent for something, there is nobody in the world who can stop you from achieving it, which is why I truly admire him.
Okay, so you have an inspiration who inspired you because we need some motivation and inspiration for ourselves to give us that push. All right. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to ask you. Can you give me a 2 minute brief on the journey to Culinary Arts Academy, Switzerland? Two
The
minutes.
journey to Culinary Arts Academy of Switzerland. Well, I made I finalized this university right after my 10th boards. I thought that this is the university where I'm going to. I had several meetings with Mr. Deep, and he really helped me to clarify my doubts, as I stated earlier. The journey has been like first I thought, yes, I want to go to this college, but then I kept having my doubts about going to the other college, which was my other shortlisted college. So I had taken a big chart paper and I made a columns of both the colleges. I opened my laptop, my phone, and I started making pros and cons of both the colleges, started comparing colleges, and for 1 week it had become a stressful situation. However, of course, Switzerland turned out to be the better choice and the university which I wanted to go to. The journey has been really nice with all the help I've been getting. I've currently just been shopping and packing for the college and sorting all my documents, going to the doctors to get all the essential medicines or tests done so that over there, if I get any medical condition, it will be very difficult for me. So getting all the tests prior hand, visiting the dentist, the gyne, all the types of doctor will be very helpful for you because then you will exactly know what is your medical condition currently and you can act on it accordingly. Always sorting out your documents will be great, and if you keep two copies of it, you might not know where you need any type of document. And the college had given us a small list of items which we need to bring in our welcome handbook. So it's always good to keep your luggage light because no matter how many things you take, you will need at some point to buy things from Switzerland itself. So the
Mhm.
essential items, we should pack it and we should not make it very bulky or heavy for us because in the flight there's a certain luggage limit. And at the same time, we should always have a positive mind and we should always be careful as we're going to a new place with new people. So we should do everything we can to connect with those people who are also going to that place from the same country. And
Mhm.
we should ask the other students about their journeys or if they need any help. And we should just all be there for each other and help each other so that we all become successful one day.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So, anything you want to say from your side? You want to speak something to your friends?
I just want to say that thank you for everyone who believed in me and supported me and was there with me at some point of time. And I will not let anyone down ever, be it my parents, my friends, or whoever who has trusted me. And achieving your dreams is really, really easy if you just believe in yourself and work hard for it. There's nothing impossible for anyone. That's what I feel.
Bang on. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. So, everybody, I just want to say goodbye to you because this is the time that we are going to. Now, we are, because we are certainly time bound, so we are going to. I just want to say all the very best for your future endeavors and have a safe journey. When are you flying?
29th of this month.
29th of this month. So all the very best on behalf of Bose Global, Deep sir, and I also want to wish you good luck for your journey.
Thank you.
All right. So everybody, I want to say that we have got to know a lot from how she got inspired, and now she is definitely going to pursue her passion from here on. And she has successfully answered all the questions. I hope everybody has got to know, and they are happy to know. And if they are passionate about being a chef, so I know there are people who have joined us. A few of them are also into this culinary world. So it is always nice to hear somebody who wants to become a chef and is sharing their experience with us. So I thank Manya Agarwal again that she has been able to come here and wish her a very good luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Manya. Goodbye and take
Bye.
very good care of yourself. Bye bye.